Never start your business from zero again. In this video, I'm going to break down why monthly recurring revenue, the real MRR, is so important to your business and how you can get started implementing it today. Okay, so if you're a coach, course creator, expert, at the end of the day, you need monthly recurring revenue. There's nothing more stressful as a business owner than starting your month from scratch. I know big cash months are amazing. I've been there. I am there in so many ways. I also know that the power of monthly recurring revenue will carry you through and carry you to your next level. Okay. So when I was sick back at the end of 2022 and I had my surgery, right, I wasn't stressed out about, oh my gosh, what if I'm out? Like, what if I'm not able to work for a month, depending on how my surgery went, which thankfully I recovered relatively quickly. And I was able to be, I have I work from home on my business on a computer. So that was great. But there's so many instances where, especially at the start of my business, I didn't realize how important it was to have that monthly recurring revenue. So one of the core things that I work with my clients inside of coaching is the power and the ability to have money coming into your business for the next 3, 6, 9, 12 plus months. Because at the end of the day, that security and that comfort of knowing that even if you couldn't work for the next month or 3 months or 6 months, you still have money coming in, that's going to give you so much like feel goodness that I can't even explain. So monthly recurring revenue is Bay, and I'm going to break down how you can start doing it and what we do inside of our business so that you are never starting from zero again. So let me pull up my trusty dusty Google Doc. It's not dusty. It's actually pretty great. I'm going to bring out my Google Doc and we're going to break down exactly what this needs to look like. So you guys know I'm a straight shooter, so let's get into it. So at the end of the day, in my opinion and how I work with my clients, the goal is to have all their business, personal, and long-term investment expenses covered. And this is just an example number. So for most people, that's probably going to be around, anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. You have to remember, as a business owner, you're paying taxes, you're doing all these other things. So you really are. You're also paying fees on top of the charges you get through Stripe or PayPal. So it's going to be important that you set the bar where if a couple payments fail, which they will, unfortunately, churn is real, that you are still going to be good. Okay. So I would say, looking at an average industry rate of about 10% churn, you can expect some payments to churn here and there. So $20,000 a month is a good baseline. Okay, so this is what we do with offer pathways. So a lot of people look at like low ticket memberships and things like that as like monthly recurring revenue. And while it is, it's not actually my favorite monthly recurring revenue because you need a lot of volume. It needs to be scaled. There's a lot of things going on there that for most folks, like all those moving parts, like it's just a lot. So there is power in having those lower ticket sales and monthly reoccurring. But personally, the quickest way, in my opinion, to get to 20, 30, 50K in reoccurring is with your high ticket offers. So when I teach my clients these offer pathways, I want you to understand that it's not that you're creating this like all these different offers. It's not that you're having to come up with new ideas all the time. It's about really selling access to you. So when I say selling access, what do I mean? Selling access is selling your time, essentially. Your time is going to be the highest yield of value and results and support for your client. So it should come at the right investment level. So at the end of the day, your clients will pay for access, period. Just like when people talk about, you guys have probably heard this, like if you could sit down with Jay-Z, would you take, what is it, like the $500,000 where you have dinner with Jay-Z? A lot of people are like, I would rather sit down and have the dinner with Jay-Z because that is going to be, I mean, essentially priceless. His time, right? You can't really, I mean, you can probably put a dollar amount in his time, but he's a billionaire. So his time is very, very valuable. So when I think about your own identity and you stepping into your 7-figure upgrade, it's also about understanding the identity that you have, that you are so impactful and so important. And not just you as a person, but the offer and the business and what you're helping people solve, that the ROI on your time is infinitely more higher than just selling something passively or selling something self-study. Now, the difference from what I personally used to do compared to now is that when I looked at selling access, I looked at it from this point of view of like, when I sell access to me, I don't have to come up with these new ideas and all these crazy new things. I just need to give them more of my time. When I made that switch, I was able to raise my one-to-one rates to a really, really great amount. Okay. So let's kind of break down. Let me get back into the Google Drive, but I just wanted to touch on that because at the end of the day, like offer is going to stay the same, right? You say you're a weight loss coach, your offer can be helping moms over 40 lose 15 to 20 pounds without giving up their favorite foods. Like that's the actual offer, but you can sell it in two ways. You can sell it to clients. Maybe they want a little bit more privacy. Maybe they want a little bit more of your time. Maybe they want to be able to directly communicate with you. That's going to cost, right? That's a higher level investment. And on the flip side, you may have some clients that just really care about the result and they don't care about how they get there. Because at the end of the day, the vehicle, how they're going to get there is your offer. That's going to be the same. You're not like you're giving them the same supports, like the same support. You're giving them not in terms of time, but the same like curriculum, the same, concepts, ideas, things like that. They're getting all of that, but it's just how you deliver it. So delivering it one-to-one is obviously going to cost more, and delivering it in a community is going to cost a little bit less. Okay. So that's where you can have one offer, but deliver it two ways. And I call this an offer pathway because oftentimes what you'll find is people will come to you through your community or your group and your group mentorship, and they will ascend because they're still on this journey. They're still on this pathway. They're still on this roadmap, right? But they may find out they get into your community. They love it. They love you. They want more support from you. They want more access to you, and they will naturally ascend. Okay. So that's kind of what we help our clients with, is making that seamless ascension. But I would say 70 to 80% people that just find us come into our community, and that's probably what it's going to be for you too. So let's kind of talk about it. So offer number one is going to be your highest level offer. Okay. So typically I like to do high level one-to-one offers between 4 and 6 months. Okay. So I've done them longer, but you want to make sure that A, you're never going to take on a client that's not a good fit for you, but B, furthermore, you want to give them breathing room. I personally never want a client relying on me for 5, 6, 7 years, right? But also in the same breath, I want to have structure to it where we're having that conversation, we're in consistent communication. We're also, if the client needs to take a step away, like they have that breathing room, they're not locked into a contract for like 12, 18, 20 months, right? So we personally do 4 and 6 month commitments. And that just it's a benefit for both parties. Okay. So typically just kind of depending on where you're at, and this could be a little bit lower, but I typically don't really recommend anything less than about 2K for your time per month, because it's not just your time, it's also your expertise, your value. Like you're delivering on so many things behind the scenes, right? And not just like physically delivering, but like delivering as far as building your skill set, that you should be paid accordingly. So typically most of my clients, I'm wanting them to charge $2,000 to $10,000 a month for their expertise. Yes, you heard that right. So it depends on the offer. It depends on your belief. It depends on what you're helping them with. Like there's certain offers that can yield a higher, monthly, payment, right? There's some offers that can do that, but for the most part, like most of my clients can fit into that bucket of charging 2 to 10K per month for their one-to-one. And from there, right, and it's just a basic breakdown. If you had 4 private clients at $3,000 each, right, and they're on like a 6-month commitment, that's going to be $12,000 per month in recurring revenue. Sorry, that's actually, 369. Yeah, that's $12,000 per month in recurring revenue. And that allows you like to start to set that baseline. Okay. Now, I know some people don't really like one-to-one. That's okay. I like selling it because I've been able to structure it in a way where they only get 1 or 2 calls a month, depending on the tier that they choose. And then from there, all I'm doing is like what I would be doing with my friends anyway. I'm on support. I'm supporting them and pouring into them and giving them their big ideas. But the curriculum is already built. I've built that. My group clients get it. My one-to-one clients get it. The curriculum that they go through is already there. My private clients get like a custom roadmap based on where they're at. I'll spend maybe an hour on that. It's custom or semi-custom depending on where they're at. If they're coming to me at the very beginning of building out their funnels and stuff, like in their business model, then it's going to be a little bit more rigid. But then once my clients resign and stuff, like we kind of build that out a little bit more custom based off of where they're at. They're already at 30K months or 50K months. Like there's going to be more identity shifts and team and things like that, scaling their ads that, is going to be a little bit more custom for them, that I will support them with giving the strategy. Because what I don't do is do the work for them, but I give them the strategy, I give them the belief, I give them this, help them with their self-concept. And, it's both. They get the mindset and they get the strategy at that level. So that's really dope for that. And then as you kind of start to hit capacity, right? Your capacity, then you start to raise your rates on that. Okay. So this is just like when I'm thinking about getting into building a recurring revenue, this is where you want to start. So this is where most of our recurring revenue is from. It's like our high ticket offer, and then our one-to-one in our group. Okay. So I would say about, right now it's a little bit flipped. It's mostly one-to-one is our recurring revenue, but for a very long time, it was our community. We're working on inverting that back. But right now it's been really nice because I've been selling group programs for it'll be 5 years in December. So for me, it's been really nice to be able to take a step back as we've recalibrated our business to focus profit first versus just revenue. So number two is going to be a community-based offer. So typically, I like to structure these 3, 4, 6, and sometimes 12 months, but for the most part, 3, 4, 6 months is a really solid place. And for most of you, anywhere from $300 a month to $3,000 a month. So I'm not going to get into pricing psychology on this video. I'll do that in another video. But typically, what you're seeing is that range similar to offer brand, what we talked about with one-to-one. There's going to be less access to you. So yeah, perhaps you're going to show up in a coaching call once a week or bi-weekly, but it's in a group setting. So they don't have that direct one-to-one access to you. But if say you had 6 group clients and you're maybe a little bit more like you've had some clients, you've done one-to-one, now you want to take your brilliance and span it into a group. Maybe you charge about $1,500 each for like 6 months. And that brings you for each person, and that brings you to $9,000 MRR per month. So now if we combine the two, you have the 4 clients one-to-one and the 6 group, you have 10 clients, and that's like super manageable. You can manage that within like 5 hours a week. That's about $21,000 in recurring revenue. And now you've met your baseline, and you have to set that number for yourself, right? But now you've met your baseline. You can play, you can have fun, you can rest, of course, but you want to keep momentum. So your next goal, right, in all of this is to look at the offer pathway, right, that brings you the most joy. If you really want to get more group clients because you value, like, you really, really value your time and you're not worried about like wanting to, grow your one-to-one right now, then scale your group. That's actually what I recommend. Like having 80% of your energy go towards that, where 80% of your income's coming from, where it's not taking all your one-to-one time. And then the other 20% is coming from your one-to-one. And then you have like your passive workshops and digital products also on the side that are just like fun and bring you, a good amount of additional income. So that's really what monthly recurring revenue could look like. That's what we do inside of our business. I think most people overcomplicate it, and a lot of people are trying to play in the pond when they really need to be in the ocean. And it's like no shade, no tea towards people that are focused on like $47 memberships, but like you literally need so much volume. And in my opinion, it's the same amount of effort. I still got to make the same YouTube videos. I still got to run the same damn ads. Like there's going to be churn. So I might as well go really deep with my clients and serve them in the way that serves them best, right? Once we hit one-to-one capacity, then everybody has to go in the group and there's a waiting list. And then that's that. So at the end of the day, like people will buy from you when you give them the right options. I'm not doing anything drastically different in my group program than my one-to-one. They all get the same curriculum, right? My one-to-ones may get, a few different perks here and there. Maybe if I'm in their area, I might meet up with them, or if it's include like a VIP day type thing. Like, it just kind of depends. But overall, like I structure it so that I am getting paid accordingly for our expertise, our value, and the results that we deliver, and then also for my time. So you just have to really sit with what feels really solid for you and what feels good for you. But having both, in my opinion, is really beautiful. And when life happens, if you want to wind down your one-to-one for a period of time, you can. You have your group running, and then you are just showing up and coaching your ass off so your clients get great results. And you're winning, they're winning, everybody wins. So no longer do you have to scale in this like hyper scaling way of like, you've got to do these crazy guarantees and these crazy offers and these crazy all of that. You can just truly show up and like pour into your people and give them different levels of access and like truly have a business that's like a life first, right? I take off a full week every single month from calls. And it's beautiful, right? My group program, they get 2 calls a month. We may expand that back out in the future. It'll never be weekly again, just at least for the time being, just because of how my business and my schedule is set up. And then from there, my one-to-one calls, clients, they get either 1 or 2 calls a month, depending on the tier that they've chosen. And that's that, right? So this isn't like Bible or anything as far as the calls, but my clients have a lot of action to be taking in their own business. So I just find it's not beneficial. I don't need to be, talking to them like all day, every single day. We touch base, we have check-ins, they have calls, and then we move forward because I want them to win. And I'm constantly pouring into them. They have the access that they need. And I find that the clients that get the right access that they need based off of their capacity, they really win, So when we think about monthly recurring revenue, like it's going to be your lifesaver in your business. And that just really shows the health of a business is that you can look 6, 9, 12 months out and say, we have cash coming in, we have money coming in, regardless if I, made another sale or not. That's how you know you're really in a good position. So that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully this video is really helpful. Obviously you need to learn how to get those clients. So I'm going to post a video below on how, like the exact funnel that we use, exact sales process and marketing system that we use to bring those clients to us. And yeah, definitely take a look at that. So hopefully you found value in this video. Definitely hit the like button, definitely subscribe, go follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.